In the last episode, we learned the basic outline of the game. So let's delve into our first dungeon and let's play the darkest dungeon. The loading screen basically said this is your first trek into the ruins, be curious and be careful. And that, I think, sums up the game quite nicely. We can also shuffle our party around now. So if we so desire, you can move them around. There's also the default party order thing. And center map on the party. We can scroll around, I think. No, we can't. So right now we'll have to select a room to explore. And also something I didn't talk about was the light level. Right now we're at radiant light. So we'll have a chance of scouting, which is something that we'll explain as it goes, although it's quite self-explanatory. And as the light goes lower, you will lose some advantages, like you will have less chance of scouting, your monsters will become stronger and more likely to crit on you and all those things, but you'll gain more loot. And also, as far as I can tell, very low light levels have a chance to spawn rare boss-like monsters on you, which you really don't want to meet unprepared. Okay, now let's just move on here. This is a curio, one of the better ones. You salvage the unburned torch.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Indeed they are. As you can see here, we can just use that torch with a right click, and the light level has increased again, which is wonderful. There's a small fight. That should not be anything we can't handle. Skeletons usually have a high bleed resistance, so there is little point in doing the open vein attack. So we'll just grape shot them, and hopefully... well, we can't do anything here. You can wait, but this will cause stress, so it's only better to just do something. Yeah, critting will reduce your stress, as will killing enemies. This is unlocked. This strongbox is unlocked, so you don't need a key for it. And we'll just loot the hell out of it. Oh, that is a very nice reward indeed. We did not trigger a scouting check, which is a shame. Scouting basically shows you what's around your stuff. And this is why I want shovels. If you don't have a shovel here, you will, I think, lose some health. It takes a long time to clear it, so you'll lose some light, and you will suffer some stress. And I believe you might also catch some nasty diseases. And that's why you generally want to take some shovels and stuff with you. Okay, we now have a cultist. Cultists are one of the things I tried to get rid of as soon as possible. We'll do Grape Shot Blast here. They're quite dodgy, and the worst thing about them is they can increase your stress level. So we'll try to stun them for now. And this would actually attack the 3rd and 4th rank in the line, but since there is none of that right now, I can also move this guy to the 4th position. I think that, yeah, it would cost him the incision skill, but we hardly use that anyway. So you just do Divine Comfort again. 1 health may not seem like a lot, but it can actually save your heroes quite a few times to have this 1 health or not. Also, you will gain stress if you are critted on. What's the problem with this mate? Okay, this should get rid of the... it should not sometimes. I think also your heroes gain stress if you leave a fight going too long. Also, yeah, the stressful incantation takes away light, and it will cause a lot of stress. Like 20 is a significant chunk. Okay, we'll focus on this guy for now, because I really want him dead. This stressful incantation is something you definitely need to get rid of. Why does he keep dodging? Stop dodging my attacks, bastard. There we go. Yeah, once you leave corpses, those are basically, well, corpses. You can't do anything about those. We'll try to stun him again. There we go, he is now stunned. He will continue to take damage. And we can pile up the damage over time effects on him. They will stack up for a short time. I think it tracks each stack differently. There we go. Yeah, crits often have a chance of reducing the stress of several party members at once, which is great. Something else that allows you to... Damn, I want a scouting check. Allows you to reduce stress is disarming traps, which requires a scouting check to be possible. Ooh, the pack contains loot. Great.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly.
Since we have plenty of torches, I try to use them up as far as possible. Okay, we'll do the blinding gas on this guy again. He resisted, damn it! Let's try this. We still have to kill Dismas off his crit in the last rounds. And that's actually the worst target for the stressful incantation. The absolute worst. Now this guy is actually a tempting target to go with the open vein. He resists our bleeding, but we could just keep going. And by the way, there are attacks that move you around. So there are attacks that pull or push your heroes around, and that's often sometimes something you don't want them to do. Okay, this guy is not bleeding, otherwise we could have a fair go at it. And I believe those multi-attacks have a lower chance of reducing stress when they kill. Okay, let's just plague it. By the way, you can actually plague those enemies as well. Could do that just now. We can't do that now. We cannot attack the front ranks, which is why I tend to remap the skills of the Plague Doctor as well, as soon as that is possible to me. As for the other things, well, I think those attacks are mostly self-explanatory. I will go over why I use some attacks over others at different times, I guess, if the situation and the question arises. Now what I tend to do, that's by the way one of the attacks that move your heroes around, as you can see there. You can still shoot him though.
Give them no quarter.
Oh, you do miss sometimes, Dismas.
As victories mount.
And they're scouting, so we see what's ahead of us, and sometimes you see what's in different rooms as well. We want our default party order again, and I'm actually tempted to move these guys around, so the vessel can do other things than healing. Can do other things than healing. Now this is a chest that can either be trapped or that can open, and with a skeleton key it gives you more stuff.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now
Okay,
it
so
must
we
be
want to go
carried
this
home.
way. And this is why I want the map open. Yeah, the light is fading, so now you would gain... we gain more stress, the monsters gain accuracy, they have a chance of surprising us, which will scramble your party order. But you gain more loot and more player crits. So I think that is crits that you score and not the crits that are scored on you. So it's more risky, but since we're a level 1 party, or level 0 party for the most part, this is a trap by the way. If you stay in front of it, each of our heroes is shown the disarm chance. So I think we'll go with Dismas here. And disarming trap reduces your stress, which is great. So I tend to use this as kind of a buffer, and that's also why I tend to do many of the stress-risking interactions with my trap disarming character, just because this can be quite a bit of stress relief. Also, there's a battle ahead, and a curio is basically one of these things you can interact with that will pose either interaction. I think this is one that actually reduces your... that can reduce a negative quirk, so this is quite a powerful one. Okay, we'll do the plague grenade on this guy. Wait, do I have... no, it's blinding gas. Okay, by the way, this attack here is pretty cool because it can allow you to increase the light again.
The match is struck.
Also, this we don't have to worry about this enemy anymore because he will take 4 damage at the end at the start of his round. By the way, this is the this little thing here indicates that this unit has not moved in this round. So we don't have to worry about this one because as soon as he has his turn, he takes 4 damage, which means he will die. And taking that into consideration is often very helpful because it means, for example, you can ignore a unit for a round or for more than that. And I consider that very, very helpful. Also, yeah, this stress is getting worrying. We have to do battlefield medicine now, because there is nothing this guy can attack. Luckily, we have plenty of targets for that. It doesn't do much healing, but it removes blight and stress. Not stress, blight and bleeding. Which are both things that can certainly kill your heroes. Also, deeds are some of the things I find the most important. Okay, we'll want to do this guy, and we want to use the holy water here. Divine benefit. It can also heal you. That's something that happens. Remove stress as well. And we want this curio here. We don't want the rest of that. Okay, the sack's contents are mine. And we'll just move backwards, which will increase the stress a bit. I think moving backwards is more stressful than moving forwards for your troops, but it's something you can't help sometimes. We won't need more torches right now because there is nothing ahead of us, although the game tends to throw traps and fights into explored hallways as well sometimes. And that's again why you want that map to stay open. And right now, I shouldn't jinx it, but we are really lucky with the kleptomania trait of Reynold here. Or rather, quirk. Because it has not triggered that often yet. It has not triggered at all in this run. And that's why I want to keep food around. So you regain some health if you can eat, and you take damage plus stress if you don't. And I think you should always take at least 1 full stack, although some maps are more likely to contain food than others. We want to continue adventuring for now. We are still in very good shape, so we'll continue. We can always leave the quest. You can always abandon the quest, by the way, too. But there's more loot to be had, so we'll go that way. And it's often worth removing, or removing some of your stuff and using up some of your consumables and exchanging them for more valuable things like heirlooms and stuff. And in most cases I tend to run out of storage space. Okay, let's hope we don't get screwed over with this battle. This is the Bone Courtier, which is one of the more annoying units because he, as just like the cultist, I think Acolyte is the name for those, he can increase your stress. We'll light this guy up again for now. Now the downside of the Vestal is, since she's mostly doing the healing for my party, I don't... well, she won't get many kills, so this may work against her. Ouch! She won't get much stress relief from killing things. And I really want the guild next turn, so I can actually take care of some of that stuff. I need those skills remapped. There are skills I find way more useful, and they just work better in my formations. Okay, so if we apply this plague grenade again, which I will, you will see that this guy will take 8 damage over 3 rounds. I think this does not necessarily take all 3 rounds. And yeah, now we don't have to worry about him anymore. The Divine Comfort, because all the party is slightly scratched.
Slowly, gently.
And I find damage over time to be one of the most amazing things to go for if you need a bit of respite. There we go, another kill. Some stress relief. Your frontline character usually has a lot of stress relief because he does most of the killing. Some medicine, we'll do that. And you really never want your troops to just sit idle, because relieving stress is difficult. I was hoping we'd kill this guy, but debuffing him works too. We can't use the pistol shot. We could shoot at the corpses, but there's little point in that. Except if you really want to move something forward, which is something you might want to do. We'll use that up, take all that stuff, and we'll want to use this key. And then we get some more of that and some of that. Great. And now there is quite literally nothing left in this dungeon. So, shut up, cell phone. While we might go back and forth to get more fights, we'll just leave it. In this case we were over-prepared, but I prefer to be over-prepared than being under-prepared. Because just this little bit might make a difference and get you killed. Like getting this little bit of stress, or getting this little bit of hunger, and it will very well get you killed. We will get some of the money back. I'm not sure how much is repaid, but you usually get some treasure out of the dungeon. We also gained a lot of crests, and you can probably see why I said those are kind of like coins also, or basic materials. Okay, let's see. Known cheat. Hooray. This guy's gained a positive trait, the Armor Tinker, which allows him to reduce his cost of various things. This guy will now only flagellate and has more speed. And this lady here has now increased her chances to get a scout check in the Wheels. Okay, each of those quest locations, by the way, has a different type of enemy that's in there. It has a different set of curios and interactable things.
I cannot tell how much time has passed since I sent that letter.
Thank you. And some quirks will become severe, which means they will be more expensive to treat in the sanitarium, as the game just told us. And now we unlocked the Abbey and the Tavern. We also have more heroes in the stagecoach, and those are very, very useful heroes. We'll just recruit all of them.
This man understands that adversity and existence are one and the same.
We need all of these guys.
The raw strength of youth may be spent, but his eyes hold the secrets of 100 campaigns.
So as you can see here, this guy has various skills. I hardly ever find people with... Oh my god. This is like one of the worst traits I tend to consider. Those are things I tend to leave untreated, because this additional stress and this is slight debuff in accuracy is something that I can usually deal with. But those compulsive traits are the worst, and as I said, I tend to treat them as soon as I can. Also, since thank you. As you can see here, this guy will only pray for thing. It still costs him 1,000 to pray. I'm not sure what he's praying to. Kalode will only flagellate, which costs a bit more than praying. So yeah, those are the cheapest, and this is the more expensive thing. Osmot will only flagellate as well. So this is where this plays against us. Can we actually...
A man in a robe, claiming communion with the divine. Madness.
Okay, I think this is what gets us another level of... which gets us another thing. Another slot here. There is also something that's mildly annoying.
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken.
Increase all of that. And this is the caretaker, who will usually take a random slot in your stress relief activities. And that is somewhat annoying, because he may very well take the one slot you just need right now. Okay, in the next quest I think we'll gain those two buildings, and then we'll gain the Sanitarium, and then we gain the Survivalist. So more of that next time in the Darkest Dungeon. And yeah, those first runs are easy, but there will be runs where the game just really goes down on you, and it really throws you things between the legs. And then kicks you in the balls. Right now, our hero roster is not as ideal as I would like it to be. There are a few classes I tend to take with me more often than others. For example, the Vestal, because of her incredible healing power, is one of those classes I tend to take along in every quest, or a Plague Doctor, or something that can heal. I also like to have a Jester around, because those can actually relieve quite a bit of stress. And the rest is basically melee and something else. There are quite a few very interesting classes in the game. They all have their different sets of attacks and abilities and stuff, which is something I do enjoy greatly about the game. I also love the art style, and yeah, I can definitely see why this is one of the higher rated games in 2015 it came out. So yeah, I'll see you all next time. I'll have to see if those first 2 episodes recorded properly, but that's it for this week. Till then, bye.